Have you ever stood on a beach, looked down at the seemingly endless sand, and just thought, wow, how many grains are even here? Now, what if I told you that for every single one of those grains, there might be thousands of stars up in the sky? It's a pretty wild idea, and today we're going to find out if it's actually true.
Yeah, you've probably heard this one before, right? It's this beautiful poetic line that people use to try and wrap our heads around just how big the universe is. It's a classic.
But is that all it is? Just a nice saying? Or can we actually prove it with science? Well, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to follow the numbers and see if this incredible claim really holds up. Okay, so to tackle a cosmic question like this, we're actually going to start right here on Earth. Before we even think about the stars, let's look down and figure out the sand situation.
So first question, how on earth do you even begin to count that? I mean, it's not like you can count them one by one. It feels like a totally impossible job, right? Counting every grain on every beach in every desert. No way.
Well, scientists have a much smarter way to do it. They don't count, they estimate. First, they figure out the total volume of sand, basically how much space all the beaches and deserts in the world take up. Then, they calculate the density. How many tiny grains can you pack into a small, known area? And from there, it's pretty simple. You just multiply those two numbers together.
And the number they get is, well, it's absolutely mind-boggling. It's about 7.5 quintillion. That is a 7.5 followed by 18 zeros. It's a number so huge you can barely get your head around it. And keep in mind, this is just our starting number.
So, we have our number for sand. It is a gigantic, almost silly number. But now it's time to turn our attention from the ground beneath our feet to the sky above our heads and tackle the other side of this cosmic puzzle.
And believe it or not, the method for counting stars is kind of similar, just on a galactic scale. Of course, you can't count individual stars. So instead, scientists count galaxies. Thanks to incredible telescopes, they estimate there are about 2 trillion galaxies in the part of the universe we can see. And since each of those galaxies has, on average, a few 100 billion stars, you can probably see where this is going.
When you do that multiplication, you get a number that it completely shatters the number for sand. 200 billion trillion. That's a 2 followed by 23 zeros. I mean, look at that. That number is so big, it barely even looks real.
All right, we have our numbers, we have our estimate for every grain of sand, and our estimate for all the stars. So, it's time for the final showdown. Let's put them head to head.
And it's not even close. It's a total landslide. Our 7.5 quintillion grains of sand are just a drop in the bucket compared to 200 billion trillion stars. Here's another way to think about it. For every single grain of sand on our entire planet, there are more than 10,000 stars out there.
So the verdict is officially in. That famous saying, it's not just a beautiful metaphor. Based on the very best science we have today, it is a provable fact. There are far, far more stars in the universe than there are grains of sand on Earth.
But you know, this whole thing is about more than just which number is bigger. The real power here isn't just in the math. It's about what knowing this does to our sense of perspective.
Now, we should be clear about something. These are incredible estimates, but they're not exact counts. The number of stars is only for the observable universe. The real thing is probably much, much bigger. And our sand count didn't even include all the sand on the ocean floor. So as our technology gets better, these numbers will definitely get more precise.
But really, the exact number isn't the point. The real takeaway is just the humbling sense of scale it gives you. It's a powerful reminder of how small we are in this enormous, incredible cosmos. Just think about it. Pick up one imaginary grain of sand in your hand. Now, try to picture 10,000 suns. That's the scale we're dealing with here.
And that just leaves us with one final big question. If a fact this mind-bending is true, what does that say about everything else we don't know? It really makes you wonder, what other astonishing, unbelievable truths are out there just waiting for us to discover them?